Welcome to the new session on the chapter Natural Resources. In this module, we are going to learn about the next natural resource, water. Water is considered as a wonder liquid. It's called as a wonder liquid, and water exists on this earth in different forms. They are in the form of water vapor, saline water, and fresh water. The water vapor is present in the atmosphere. Saline water is found in the seas and oceans, and fresh water is found in the frozen ice caps, snow-covered mountains, underground water, rivers, lakes, ponds. All these are having the fresh water. So different forms of water are water vapor, fresh water, and saline water. It is called as a wonder liquid. Why is it called so? What can be the reason why the water is called as the wonder liquid? Now let us have a quick recap of why it is called as a wonder liquid or how it helps us in sustaining our life. The presence of water decides the biodiversity of that area to a great extent. If there is no water, no life form can exist in that particular habitat. So it is the presence of water in a particular region that decides what type of biodiversity of what type of plants and animals should inhabit that particular region. Many of our biological processes which is taking place inside the cell requires water as a medium. The major constituent of blood is water. We know the fluid part of blood is called as plasma, and the major constituent of plasma is water. And this water helps to carry substances throughout the body, and thus it is acting as a circulating fluid. Water helps in regulating the body temperature in animals and in human beings. It also prevents the tissues, organs, and cells from drying up and thus keeping the organs and tissues and cells in our body in a moist condition. Water helps in digestion of food. It helps in removal of waste out of the cells. And plants also require water to transport food through different parts such as the stem and leaves, and also water is a major constituent in photosynthesis. And thus we learned about the different important roles played by water, and hence water is called as the wonder fluid. The water which is playing such an immense role in our life is getting polluted and becoming unfit for use. So how can we define water pollution? Water pollution occurs when harmful substances such as chemicals and wastewaters like garbage are present in water, and thus the quality of the water is degraded, and thus the presence of life which is present in the water is also in danger. So the harmful substances like chemicals and waste materials like garbage are released into the water bodies, and the quality of the water is degraded and becomes unfit for use, and this is called as water pollution. Now let us learn what are the causes of water pollution. Waste from the industries is being dumped into the water bodies. The industries often release chemicals directly into the water bodies such as rivers and seas, and thus contaminating or polluting the water bodies. The second cause is sewage. Sewage is the municipal wastewater. The municipal wastewater which contains large amount of water and organic matter. And major amount of organic matter is nothing but the human excreta, which disseminates a large number of waterborne diseases. So the water produced from households is often released into the water bodies, which gives rise to harmful bacteria in the water. The third cause is mining activities. The metal waste obtained from mining activities are released into the water bodies, which harm the life existing in the water bodies. Usage of fertilizers and pesticides in order to increase the crop production. So these chemicals which are present in fertilizers and pesticides are harmful to the aquatic animals and plants, and also the animals who are dependent on these aquatic plants. Now let us learn what are the effects of water pollution. The addition of unwanted substances like fertilizers and pesticides and industrial waste can make the water poisonous and extremely harmful for consumption. It becomes unfit for getting or for being consumed. It also leads to an increase in bacteria that causes several diseases like cholera, jaundice. All these are waterborne diseases. It is spread through the mode of water. So when such organic matter are released into the water bodies, it disseminates or it helps in the growth of a large amount of microorganisms. And these microorganisms, when consumed by living organisms like humans, it causes certain communicative diseases. Another effect of water pollution is that it leads to the decrease in the amount of oxygen and nutrients in the water, and thus affects the aquatic organisms which are living in such water bodies. How is it possible that water pollution can decrease the amount of oxygen in a particular water body? Let us learn how it is possible. We learn that sewage, which contains large amount of organic matter, and this organic matter, what is the fate of this organic matter? It has to be degraded by microorganisms. And what is this process called as? It is called as decomposition. So decomposition is a process by which the organic matter is converted into simple inorganic matter by microorganisms, whether it is in soil or in water. It is degraded by microorganisms. And whether these organisms require oxygen or not. What name can be given to such organisms? They are called as aerobic organisms or anaerobic organisms. So aerobic organisms, they require oxygen. So in order to degrade the organic matter which has been released into the soil, the aerobic organisms, they utilize the oxygen which has been dissolved in water. Isn't it? They utilize, from where will they get the oxygen? They will get the oxygen which is present in the water bodies. And when they are degrading, they utilize or they remove all the oxygen which is present in the water. So water bodies. So greater the amount of organic matter or greater amount of sewage which is released into the water bodies, greater amount of oxygen will be required. As a result, the water bodies gets depleted of oxygen. So can other plants and animals who are dependent on oxygen survive in these water bodies? No. So indirectly, they are killing the life which is present in the water bodies due to the depletion of oxygen present in it. Water pollution can also change the temperature of water. Some industries like thermal plants, they release water which is having an increased temperature, wastewater of increased temperature into the water bodies. And as a result, the temperature rises and each organism has a range of temperature in which it can survive. As a result of the increase in temperature, it will not be fit for the growth of aquatic animals, especially their eggs. And as a result, if the eggs do not hatch out, that particular organisms or that particular species will come to an extinct.